So kicking off the build, I knew I needed something round, and these paper plates seemed the obvious choice as the main body of the Millennium Falcon. I needed to make a gap between the two plates, so a strip of cardboard gently teased over the edge of my workbench gave me the ideal curve. Once the curve was in place, I got some granny grating that I used for the back of the thrusters. Then it was just a matter of using all the greeblies I could find just to cover all the edges of the ship. And I used all kinds of greeblies. I used from Lego stuff. I used the hats from some of the little Lego figures. Obviously the Lego that I was using was the cheap stuff from the dollar store or euro store and not the proper stuff. And then just used bits of cocktail sticks and stuff like that just to give up the edging some sort of interesting look. Once that was done, I needed to just make sure that the top plate matched the bottom plate. Realised that it was going to be wobbly in the bottom, so I got some EVA foam and just made a sandwich and just stacked it up, so then the middle of the plates were firm and secure. Once I was happy with the middle bit, just did a quick check again to make sure everything lined up, and then hot glued the top plate down onto the base plate. I then marked out roughly where the vents, the gun turret and the cockpit should go, using this one top-down picture of the Millennium Falcon I got off the internet. And bear in mind, I didn't use any measurements. I just didn't want to get bogged down with all the measurements. I just wanted to see if I could actually make a Millennium Falcon from rough, scratch building with just cardboard and paper and greeblies. Then I cut a couple of strips of cardboard into like a triangle just to try and give the nose edges of the Falcon. To my surprise, it actually looked alright, and then it was just a case of cutting up cardboard and just applying the cardboard slowly. For the turret, I used a cheap yo-yo I just cut that down into two and stuck it on both sides. I did two vents that I'd pre-made using the acrylic powder from Green Stuff World and the mould. I thought they looked alright there, so I just hot glued them into place at the front. Then I hit the shops and went shopping for toothpaste, or should I say shopping for the cardboard container of the toothpaste. Brought that home, chopped it up, and that was the front bit for the Millennium Falcon sorted. Then I used a toilet roll, cut that into half and then stuck it either side of the Falcon to give the corridor look that goes out onto the cockpit. Then it was a long, slow process of cutting out bits of cardboard and sticking that cardboard onto cardboard until it all looked like panels. For the front vents I used washers from some spray bottles and granny grating for the inside bit. To make Greta Thunberg happy, I recycled plastic bottle lids, sticking more granny grating on the top for the back vents. I cut up some paper Q-tips or cotton buds just to cover any bad gaps I'd made with the cardboard. More greeblies were added. These were counters from a cheap Eurostore game, and then to throw a little spice into the mix, I added some cable ties along the front of the spaceship. And once all that was done, I covered the entire model with Mod Podge. Just wanted to make sure that once I was hitting it with some paint and some washes, I didn't want any of the cardboard to start coming loose or warping. So I base coated it black and then decided to make it rusty, and I added the orange colour to some brown to make it look a bit George Hamilton. Once the Falcon was dried, I then got some masking liquid and then just went around all the edges and all the raised points. Wanted to use this technique just to see if it would work. Didn't fancy doing the hairspray technique or the salt technique, simply because there was an awful lot of cardboard, and even though I'd hit it with Mod Podge, I still wasn't 100% that it wouldn't start to crack or break once the water was being introduced to it. So after painting it grey, I then went around scraping off the edges just using my finger or some tools, and it actually started coming away where the masking fluid was, and I think it made it look pretty cool. So then once I'd gone around doing that, I then went and just hit it with a dry brush of silver, and then a little dry brush of the rust colour, just to bring out the panels. And that is how I made my first rusty, dusty Millennium Falcon. Thanks very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, or just like, share the channel, tell your friends, tell any Star Wars friends, and until next time, keep scratching that build, everybody.